and welcome. My name's Sam and this is the Little Greenhouse Creates. Thank you for joining me today, and thank you for joining me for our last card in this week's Everyday Details stamp set of the week. So this card is a little bit different than I would normally do, and the reason being is this is a sketched card. And I don't know if you've noticed, but in our catalogue on page 22 they have given you 22 different kind of sketches, layouts that you can use if you've got stuck for making a card. How about this design, or how about that design? So for the next 22 weeks I am hoping to complete each one of these designs that they have come up with on a Friday. So we're starting off this Friday with this one here. Let's see if I can fold this over and see if we can bring it up slightly. Will you focus on it? Will you focus? Will you focus? You're more focused on the take away, see if that works. You can just about see it. So it's this one here, and as I say, it's on page 22 of the annual catalogue. So if you want to have a look, then you'll find it in there. If you don't have a catalogue, let me know and I'm quite happy to send them through to you. No problems. Now the thing with the sketches is they doesn't come with measurements, so you just work out what is comfortable for you. So these are the measurements that I have gone through to make the first sketch. So I have got a piece of Pretty Peacock, and as normal it measures 8 inches by 5 3/4. I then have a layering piece of exactly the same cardstock at 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, then I have a piece of white cardstock, basic white cardstock. Now I believe it's 3 1/2. Yes, it's 3 1/2 squared, so that's 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. And I have exactly the same piece size wise in a piece of designer series paper, and that will look, so you're not actually going to see loads of it, but you will see some of it, and it will look like that. And then I have a 3/4 of an inch piece of cardstock by 2 3/4, and that's for the sentiment, which will go in the bottom right hand corner. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to take the layering mat and I'm going to run it through the embossing folder. I'm going to layer it in through my embossing folder like so. I'm going to bring it down, making sure that the line here is up. That way I know it is going to be embossed in the correct way. And then I'm going to run that through my embossing folder. Once you've embossed it, there we go. You can then attach it to your piece of cardstock. So what I do is fold that over and burnish. Like so. Burnish with my bone folder, and then that can be layered onto the card base. So as you can see, it actually makes it pop having it embossed. Right, so I'm going to add that with my multi-purpose, and I'm then literally going to go all over the back of it, making sure that most of it is covered and it will stick down, because as I've said before, when the piece of paper has been embossed, it's a little bit harder to stick down. So I'm making sure it's well glued, and then I'm just going to attach it to the base like so. Yep, okay, I'm quite happy with that. And then we've got our 2 pieces. So the first thing I'm going to do is stamp this up, and I'm going to use the only picture stamp we haven't used yet, which is the nest. So let's stamp that up in Early Espresso. Yes, I have not brought the pebble bath out. It's Early Espresso today. And I'm going to put that there and pop it in the middle. Perfect. Now they've got these little dots, and what I want to do is I want to do one in each of the 3 corners, not the bottom right. And again, I'm going to do that in the Early Espresso. I'm going to use, if you look at it this way, I'm going to make sure that the top one is in the top corner of each corner. See what I mean? So turn it down so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. And then the last one at the bottom. There we go. That's it. Oh, there we are. I was going to say, this week we've not had one bark from the dogs, but there she is. Our Bootsy decided she needs to be in the video. Right, so blend pens. What have I got? So I have got light crumb cake, which I am going to run round the rub round the nest. Bless him, my son's in the other room and he's trying very hard to keep her quiet, so you might be able to hear him as well, telling her to be quiet. There we go. And as you can see, I'm not really colouring it in, I'm just running the pen over it just to give it a bit of detail. Now what you can do if you want to, actually I'm not going to do it in that, I'm going to try and get a green. Let's get my pens out. Oh, fresh bang wallop. There we go. Let's see if I can get my pen out. And I'm going to add a little bit of green. I don't think have I got the right one out? No, I haven't. Okay, so let's close that bit up. Get the other pen. Pot. And I'm going to pull out, I think I'm going to pull out the Old Olive. Okay, so let's open that up. And I'm going to go for light Old Olive. There we go. That's that one. It's my pen case that I keep all my pens in. Well, I have 2, obviously. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit of green to the leaves that are at the edge of the nest. There we go. Subtle colours. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to colour in, oh, I've just missed one. I'm going to colour in the eggs. I've got 3 colours for the eggs. I have got light balmy blue, so let's do that one, this one. And it's probably better. That's better. Yep. Because obviously birds' eggs do come in lots of different colours, not white and just yellow or brown. So that's the first one. Then I've got my light daffodil. So that will be this one over here. And then last but by no means least, my dark flirty flamingo, which will go on the top egg. Yeah, so quite quick to colour in. And I suppose really would make a good Easter card if it was not Easter, if it was only Easter. Right, so let's bring in our card base. So this is our card base. Oops, off you. I'm going to add my designer series paper. I'm going to put flat on the paper. I'm going to glue it with my multi-purpose. There we go. And then I'm going to, let's put that on. Keep as much space top and bottom as possible. As equal as possible, I mean. So as you can see, I've picked up the colours for the eggs in what the paper is here. as you can see, we've got the pink and the yellow and the blue. Right, so now we can tilt. So we can either tilt it like that. What I want to do is I'm going to aim for the top left hand corner to run alongside this edge and the bottom right hand corner to run along this edge, and that way it gives you the pink paper underneath to show through. So let's see if we do it the other way. Then you're going to have top right hand corner on this edge and bottom left hand corner on this edge. So what do I prefer, that way, or do I prefer the other way? I think I'm going to go that way. Okay, so what I'll do is I will add my glue to the middle of this piece of card. Okay, I haven't added to the edges because obviously I want it to, it won't need to stick down on that edges bit. There we go. So that is now in place. So we are up for our sentiment, which will go here. So with our sentiment, I'm going to stamp happy birthday. I'm going to do it in the early espresso. I'm happy with that. Okay, so oops, upside down, not a good move. All right, let's get that straight and straight down, straight up. There we are. Now, before I stick it down, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the edge of the cardstock. I'm going to dip it into my ink. So as you can see, you've got a layer there. So it's an easy way of adding a layer to a white card base without having to add paper. So if you don't want to, she says sticking her finger in it, look at that, to wash my hands a second, pop that down there. So as you can see, it's got a nice little edging to it now. I'm just going to wipe my finger onto my chamois just so that I don't end up adding ink that I really don't need to be added to the card. Right, so this can now be added to the card. There's lots of addeds there, wasn't it? And I'm going to put, oh look at that, I did it as well, damn. I'm going to use my dimensionals to do that. Let's do these ones. Okay, so we're going to add 1, 2, 3 to there. Pointy tool. Take off the backings. I haven't run the coloured pen over my dimensionals there. Right, let's have a look. Can I save that with that? No, I can't. Okay, I'm not going to worry because I will use bling. So that is my sentiment. I'm going to put a bit of bling there. She says, where's the bling box? There it is. Let's see what we can use. I'm going to use these ones. Now these are swirl dots, which I believe are still in the catalogue. And I'm going to use the lighter colours this time round, whereas in the previous card I used the darker colours. Let's take that out. So yeah, so these colours I used on here. I'm going to use these ones on here. So I'm going to pick up one of those, cover my creative bling. I'm going to put one up here. Am I going to put it up there? Yes, I am. One up there, and then I can probably put one down here as well. There. So again, I've got my triangle and my odd numbers. So the only thing I really need to do, which I haven't done, is cut a piece of inside card for that. So bear with me for a second while I go and grab a piece of white, basic white, and then we can cut it down. So using my basic white and my trimmer, I can get 4 inlays out of this piece of paper. So I generally cut them at 3.5 by 5.25. There we go. Now we can put our sentiment in there. We can put happy birthday in there again. So let's do that in our early espresso. There we go. And I'm going to put the nest uncoloured and not the full nest in the bottom right hand corner. There we go. And then that can be adhered to the inside of the card. I don't know if you watched Wednesday's card, but you may have noticed that I didn't actually stick the inside layer down, and it wasn't until I came to move it, put it away, that it actually fell out. So yes, that was a bit of a faux pas. Right, so there you are, there's the inside layer. So that is our card. So that is sketch 1 from page 22 of the annual catalogue. See what next Friday brings us. So I hope you like those designs. That is it for this stamp set, Everyday Details. We will be back again next Monday with a new stamp set. So thank you ever so much for joining me for this week, and whatever you do for the rest of the weekend, have a lovely time and keep crafting. Take care. Bye.